What's up, everybody? I'm Sly The Movie Guy, and here's my spoiler review on Avengers Infinity War. Yes, this will contain a lot of spoilers. This is a spoiler review. I'm warning you, if you haven't seen the film yet, check it out in the movie theater. It's still there. Everybody's loving it. I loved it. And if you have seen it, please go check it out and come back here and hear what I had to say about it, what I like and did not like. Pretty much, I liked everything about it. Just had little problems. And also, you can check out my non-spoiler review of the movie. I put the link down in the description box. Anyway, let's just get started. You have been warned. This is it. Spoilers, everything. Let's get started. This movie, I just can't get enough of it. And what I liked about it is it started off the first beginning with Thanos and them destroying the Asgardian ship. If you hadn't seen the other film, Thor Ragnarok, and the ending scene basically shows Loki and Thor talking and show a big old ship. And I kind of knew that in that movie, that's Thanos coming. And then we pick right up to this, and it comes off, and it starts off, it doesn't start off slow, exhibition heavy. It gets you right in. And we get to see Thanos and the Black Order destroying the ship and killing a bunch of Asgardians. We see them laying there. I saw him laying there, and I was like, oh, man. Then I saw Hemda laying there like he was injured, like he was going to die. But then when you look at as the Black Order, Ebony Mao, he basically was giving exhibition, talking. Then later on, we see Thanos talking and dragging Thor like a rag dog, and Loki standing up, because we know what Thanos wants. We understood what he's been wanting. We saw ending post-credit scenes in the MCU films. If you like me, you have seen them. We know what Thanos wants. He wants the Tesseract, and Loki wouldn't give it to him. So Thanos is basically was going to kill Thor with that power stone like this. And Loki told him to stop. And Loki brings the Tesseract and shows it to Thanos. And Thanos has got his, but sooner or later when he was trying to get it, Loki said, we have the Hulk. So the Hulk comes in, punches Thanos, start beating him, everything. And Ebony Mao says, let him have his fun. And then that's when Thanos gets the upper hand, do uppercuts, martial arts on Hulk, just beats the Hulk to the punch. This is the worst beating we ever seen the Hulk. And I thought all that beginning part just shows how much of a threat Thanos is as a villain. And that scene kind of reminded me, showing Thanos, kind of reminded me of Star Wars The New Hope, just showed Darth Vader just in the beginning, just right off the back, just started action. This almost felt like The New Hope just start off with action right off the back. And at the Hulk's beating, we know Hemda basically sends Hulk to another era with the Bifrost with that sword for the last time until Thanos ends up killing Hemda. And I was like, I like Idris Elba as an actor, and he just died. And I was like, man, Thanos just went off the back, just killing him. And they wrapped Thor up in metal so Thor couldn't stop it. And Thor had to see that happen. Thanos still is getting that space stone, but Loki ends up about to kill Thanos with his little sword. And after that, Thanos grabs him by the neck and saw what he was doing, stops him with the space stone as Thanos crushed it in the end and put the space stone on his gauntlet. He grabs Loki as Loki tried to kill him, and he snaps Loki's neck. And that was, I just really could have teared up. I did like Loki. Even though he's a villain, but you liked him because he was a likable villain. And Tom Hiddleston played so good in that role. Now that was just his last appearance, as well as Idris Elba as Hemda. Both of them died, and Thor had to see that through his eyes. And that hurts Thor a whole lot because he already been through so much. He lost his mom in Thor: The Dark World. He lost his dad in Thor Ragnarok. He lost his home. He had to kill his sister as she was the villain, Hela, in Thor Ragnarok. Everything on Thor, everything he have lost everything, and it's just pound this man. And after all of that, Thanos destroys it with the Power Stone. So now he has a Power Stone and a Space Stone. He destroys the ship, but as that was going on, Thor crawled and touched Loki because now he lost his brother, and that just hurts more than anything. Next, we get to the Earth scene, though. The Earth scene where we get to meet Doctor Strange and his pal, and they talking in the stairs, and Hulk smashed through the stairs, and Bruce transformed back to Bruce Banner and saying, Thanos is coming, Thanos is coming. And all that was so neat. So the first, basically, if I could calculate, probably like the first 10 minutes, we get what Thanos wants, we get what his motivations is, we get to see that, we'll get to know it more. But as all that, all this pacing in the beginning, it's just like clicking. So it's not boring at all. So you get to it, and Doctor Strange, I'm like, what? When Hulk says Thanos is coming as Bruce Banner, we cut to the Avengers title scene, and we get the Iron Man and Pepper Potts talking about their wedding. We talk about the wedding, and then later Doctor Strange comes in with his little power thing and say, Tony Stark, we need you. Tony Stark as Iron Man just don't like, this is where my wedding invitation. It was one of those little jokes that I get, and I like the interaction and the dialogue, Doctor Strange and Iron Man when they talk to each other, because these are characters that are similar. Doctor Strange, basically his hands get messed up as a surgeon. Both of these guys are jerks that have bad things happen to them and they become a hero. Like Iron Man had to fix his heart, basically after the explosion in his first movie, and their solo movies, jerks, and they had to become superheroes and be humbled a little bit. And that really, I like their interaction with each other. And Iron Man / Tony Stark finally meets Hulk for the first time since the Age of Ultron. And he's telling Doctor Strange and Iron Man, basically that Thanos is coming to destroy half the universe, basically giving an exhibition. Doctor Strange and them is looking through their little mystical power to look through what Thanos needs. And they look through, and that's when crises go on in New York. Stuff is already happening during their interactions with one another, and things are happening in New York. Spider-Man ends up coming and appearing in the scene in the school bus, like in his field trip, and he told Ned to make a distraction, and Peter Parker's like, Spider had to go out and see what's going on because his Spider Sense ended up reacting. Finally, we get to see Spider Sense in the movie. If you haven't seen Homecoming, you finally get to see the Spider Sense in this movie. And as he goes out, it's a little cameo where Stanley is the bus driver. And that was kind of fun because Stanley been through a whole lot already in his real life thing. If you know, for sure, if you know it, it's good to see Stanley, and everything was just so fun in this film when I saw that. So the beginning is kind of very not clunky or nothing, not missed. The pacing was is good in the beginning. It was so good. It was really good. So when we get to the Black Order, Ebony and Maw and the Warcraft kind of guy, they going for another stone. So basically Thanos' henchmen is going for stones, and we get to see them going for the Time Stone because Doctor Strange has that necklace with the Time Stone. And we get to see that all in this film. We get to see what really goes down, and it really is fun. And I couldn't believe how the dialogue was going on. It was so investing. Bruce Banner trying to turn to the Hulk, but he can't because the Hulk doesn't want to come out because he got beaten by Thanos really bad. So the Hulk is really scared and don't want to come out. And Bruce Banner tries, and that's when the jokes come in and everything. And the jokes were funny because when the Maul character was given dialogue and Dr. Strange says, certainly not. I speak for myself. And Maul says something and Tony Stark said, get lost, Squidward. Got the reference. There's so many joke references like Spider-Man with the SpongeBob thing and what Spider-Man say, which I'll get into. It's just so much of that. All those things work with Spider-Man joking and all, and they get the time up, and they capture Doctor Strange. So that was kind of good to see. That was kind of good. They just a setup to make the scenes more investing and put you at stake. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen? Spider-Man climbs up. He can't be able to breathe because the space is coming on because he saw that ring in the school bus and that thing he got on. And Iron Man had to give him a new suit, which I'll get into later because that's one of my little things I want to get to later on in the film. To go on. That was it. Then we get to see Guardians of the Galaxy. And that was very good. I didn't know because Kevin Feige have said that the Guardians of the Galaxy is going to meet the Avengers. So I was so excited when he said that in 2017. So I wanted to see how that was going to be. And they finally meet Thor. Gamora gives him exhibition and all about Thanos. But before they get exhibition, what was funny is Thor was unconscious in space. They see all these ex-Guardians like kind of just dead and just floating around. They see all these humans in space. And Thor crashes and everything. And we get to see the dialogue when Thor's laying on the table. Guardians saying, what is this dude doing? And Drax said he's not a dude and all that. He's a man. You're a dude. Telling that to Star-Lord. So I like that, like the jokes and all that. And Gamora's muscles, everything. Thor comes up. She gives him basically exhibition about Thanos and what he done. And they said her father. And he said, your father killed my brother. And they tell him that she hates Thanos more than, the same thing you do. So basically Thor understood what Gamora's going through because Thor had to kill his own sister. So he knows what the families and all these things can be going crazy, but Star-Lord think it's a competition. All that worked fine with the everything from the dialogue talk. Star-Lord clowns Thor, trying to mock him with his voice. Everything worked fine. Everything worked so fine on that in this film. Next, we get to Scarlet Witch and Vision. These characters have chemistry with each other, and I think that built up kind of good in this film. I think the relationships and the chemistries work for like the love interest in this film because they build it up leading up to this. So it doesn't feel forced if you watch some of the MCU films. So them two, I really like. They looked at the news, what was going on. Vision said something, and then later on, they stuck something in Vision, the spare, and they were battling. They were beating Scarlet Witch. They were beating Vision. Scarlet Witch was doing good. Elizabeth Olsen did a phenomenal job. The action scenes, basically the first 26 minutes with Thanos and the New York scene, 26 minutes to lead up 30 minutes of this, it was done well. All the action. And as that was going on, we went to the subway area where the Black Order saw a shadow figure, and that lady villain, whatever her name is, she throws that spear and somebody catches it. I kind of knew it a little bit who it was, and when it came out, it was Captain America. And I was just clapping. But a lot of people didn't do that. I don't know why. I'm a big Captain America fan, so that was a big, for me. I enjoyed that part. It's Black Widow, Falcon comes in. They were kicking their tails. They were like, oh, boom. I don't want to see those three in a movie together. If Kevin Feige wants to do that, I don't think he would. But those three just did so great coming in. The action was well done. I enjoyed it so much. Captain America don't have his shield, so it was kind of interesting seeing that. And Black Widow with her new hair, Falcon, basically what's Falcon do? Anthony Mackie, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, good coming in there. And the camera work was so great in that part. And they picked up Scarlet Witch and Vision. I see. Now it goes to a flashback of Gamora and Thanos. That is one of the parts, I think, when I went to see it with my parents and some of my friends, but when my parents were first, my dad said that he didn't expect that scene to come up. Some people might find it erupted. I kind of like flowed with it a little bit in the first viewing, but the second viewing I was like, okay, I got it. First viewing, it kind of like jumped. I don't know, was that supposed to be like a pause after the Captain America stuff? it came in there kind of a little abrupt, but I didn't mind it because I thought things were flowing better in the film. It was a green alien, which was Gamora and the mother. So it was basically them showing Thanos Titans coming in and destroying all their planet. But basically, Thanos takes Gamora with him because she didn't know where her mother is. And Thanos took her as like he was going to raise her and give her this blade. That was a little bit I enjoyed. I thought they showed Thanos enough of a backstory because Kevin fucking him said it was a big, long backstory of Thanos. And they cut it out because the movie's 2 hours, 40 minutes. So if they left that in there, I think the movie would have been a little bit long. I wouldn't mind it. I would like to see more of the deleted scenes. They have it. But a little bit of that, I was fine. Start off fine with it. Next, then Gamora talks to Star-Lord about if Thanos finds me or something, kill me. And that was this power because we get to see Gamora and Star-Lord. We already seen them in Guardians Volume 1 and Guardians Volume 2. These two have a relationship. They have chemistry. We understood that, and it grew. It grew. It didn't feel forced. It did not feel like a forced romance like other superhero films have done in the past. It felt real, and I felt like, okay, I could really buy into it. And these two share a kiss with each other, then Drax kind of messes it up. And it was a little bit funny. Drax said, I'm standing here for an hour. It was so funny. All that worked. It worked fine. And Mantis comes in and say all this stuff. Like, Mantis going to say, hi, Drax. Drax said, dang. All that worked. And then we get to where the Guardians goes back to this lab where the Collector was at. Because Thanos was there. Thanos, I guess, over there, a little bit, Thanos was there. Like, he was stumbling on the Collector. So I was like, oh, what's going on? As that scene was going on, and Drax wanted to get revenge on Thanos. Mantis put him to sleep. Everything's going wrong. Thanos hears something. And Gamora comes in and stabs Thanos. And Thanos acted like he was dying. But later, he has the Reality Stone. And that's one of the issues I never mentioned in my review. I said I had. And it was another stone too. I wonder how the Reality Stone, I'm assuming it was on that planet where it got destroyed. When the Collector in Guardians Volume 1, I'm pretty sure that what happened. And it was still there. I don't know for sure. But anyway, that's one of the plot holes, I guess, of the MCU that had that. I want to know where that came from. Pretty much know the Tesseract, Loki had it, and Power Gem, most likely from the Nova Corps. That's one of the things, too, the Power Gem. But anyways, he had a reality, so none of that didn't happen. So he basically made it like it happened, but he turned Mantis into like shreds or something and turned Drax, I think, into goo, if I can remember that scene. It was just like that. He turned him. So Star-Lord said some jokes like some thing of he's a space like booty call something, and then went on to say, I'll shoot your nutsack with the chin or whatever. That jokes. I kind of don't mind it. It was an adult humor. So I was kind of curious because parents can bring their kids. But it's fine. I mean, didn't find it a lot of funny, but some people did. I found a lot of jokes funny. That one just was okay. But then Gamora said, kill me. And Star-Lord in his heart didn't want to do it. So when he did press his little gun, it came out bubbles because Thanos is using reality. And he said, I like you. And then faded away. Great scene. Enjoy that. Next, we get to Rowdy. Is Rowdy and Captain America get Rowdy, where he talks to General Ross in the Avengers headquarters. Now, that's kind of weird right there because I thought the General Ross was there, but it was a hologram. He's talking about this and that, and then Captain America and the rest of their crew come in and show Vision and all, and Hulk shows up. And they never seen Hulk since Age of Ultron. Everybody's meeting the Hulk since Age of Ultron because he was on the ship in Age of Ultron and didn't come back and went to Ragnarok basically. And everybody is shocked to see him again and talks about how can we get this stone out of Vision, because Thanos is coming. Hulk reminds the other team too about this. And Vision knows it, and Scarlet Witch knows this, and all these people know all this stuff. And Captain America said, I know where else. And it's Wakanda. And we get to see Bucky again with a new arm, Black Panther. It was so delightful. I love the Black Panther movie. Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. T'Challa does great. He does great for a little screen time in this film. The Russo brothers was filming as Black Panther was filming at the same time. So I think since Black Panther became successful, they probably would have added him in more scenes. But he did get some good screen time. Don't get any doubt. I'll mention that later on. I'll mention that as the review goes on. We see Bucky with a new arm. Bucky's fine. He's not Winter Soldier. He's not the villain guy. He's back in form. So that was good cameo, seeing that. That was good stuff to see that in this film. And later we see Ebony Maw torture Doctor Strange to get that time stone. He tortures him. Then Spider-Man and Iron Man comes in. And that scene to me was just like, is Doctor Strange gonna die? This movie left you on the edge of your seat because these Black Orders and Thanos are no joke. They're like, they add struck fear in you. They add that fear in you. And when Maul was just doing that to Doctor Strange, I like this character. He was almost like silent. He was doing that telepathic stuff in New York, and he did stuff to Doctor Strange, just add some intimidation. It was just so got me. I was like, oh my goodness. And then Iron Man and Spider-Man was fighting him. They finally beat him, and I was kind of wanted more of this guy. This guy actually was a threat just like Thanos. He was just like a threat. I just wanted to see so more of this character. I was like, man, like this character. Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange get talks and stuff. And Spider-Man, Peter Parker said, I'm Peter, by the way. And he's like, Doctor Strange, oh, you're made up now. Then I am Spider-Man. It was funny. Love Tom Holland and Spider-Man. He was great. Tom Holland does great as Spider-Man. It's so glad to have him as Spider-Man in the MCU. Just really is. And that's when we get to Gamora and Thanos. And Thanos is trying to give Gamora something to eat. She doesn't want it. He talks to Gamora. I thought they did very well with Gamora and Thanos. Because we got a little bit in this movie, in other movies. But in this one, it flowed. I felt like, okay, we understand Thanos. His backstory is explained so much, where we go through the motion instead of having a backstory. We get those things. We really do. And later, as Thanos taking her, because Thanos still wants to complete his goals. And one of them is the Soul Stone. But Gamora knows it, but he almost kills Nebula because he thinks that Gamora knows, and Gamora does know. So he said he wants to know it. And she said, when you see Nebula in pain, like screaming, like she's about to be torn apart, as she's coming apart, you see that. And Gamora said, what do you want? I want to know the Soul Stone. So the more he kept using that Space Stone to kill Nebula, she said, all right, it's in Vermeer. And he stops. And Thanos now knows where this is at. And he goes, and that's when we know what happens. And then we get to the scene where Thor and Rocket are talking and stuff. The Thor is going to some other area as they going through another space or whatever. Rocket and Thor talks. And Thor tells Rocket basically sitting there, listen to Thor, and things that Thor says, you care for Thor. Like he said, the stuff where he tells Rocket, he's like, what I got to lose? What else could I lose? And I just feel for Thor. I feel Thor so much. After Loki died, I felt bad for Thor a little bit. I care for Thor a lot after his dad died in Thor Ragnarok and his home. But man, he losing everything. He lost it. This man has gone through a lot of crap. He has lost everything. So it's just him. It's just him. And I just like, and Rocket's like, yeah. Rocket this act different, so Rocky don't know what much Thor went through, but Thor explained it, and you felt that, and I felt like it's make you tear up, and that just hits me really hard when I see that, because this is Thor. Thor just getting peanut butter, but he's playing it off by having a little bit of fun, but that's part of him, his half of himself is just like, I want all the stuff I had again. He lost everything. Thor's lost everything. And that's what one thing. And they get to this place and we get to meet the dwarf played by Peter Dinklage. And I heard the report that he was going to be in this movie, so I was kind of very happy to see that. I like Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage is just phenomenal actor. He just, anything when he's in a film, he transforms. He just transforms in the movie what he does. Peter Dinklage was so great as this dwarf. He gives this backstory of himself, which kind of y'all probably was trying to figure out the timeline and stuff in the MCU, because he mentions stuff about Asgard and all that. Thor mentions it, what happened to Asgard and everything, where Peter did say he plays the savior of Asgard and stuff. And Peter Dinklage is create weapons, because you see that the Thanos gauntlet is another one in there. So I'm kind of curious what the Russo brothers going to do in the next fourth movie. So that you get that, you get the king, and he shows the king weapon of the Stormbreaker, basically how to make it. It's a thing that summons the Bifrost. We get an exhibition at what it does and stuff. And I was very excited because that was in the Thor comic books where he has the Stormbreaker. So I really enjoyed that so much, to seeing that and seeing how that's going to come into ties and all that. The Thor, everything he tells Peter Dinklage as the dwarf, we can defeat Thanos together because he knows how to lose everything. We get to that, and that's when we get to the Guardian Galaxy meeting Spider-Man. Now, how that scene sets up is fun. Now, it don't influence Spider-Sense, but Spider-Man said he knows somebody's coming, and when he sees when the Guardians of the Galaxy, some of them come in, that's when the battle comes in. Iron Man's fighting Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, and all that Mantis. Spider-Man brings up a reference to Alien, which I really like the film Alien. He said, no, don't put no eggs on me. When he saw Mantis, it was so funny. All that plays a part very well in that scene where they say, who's Gamora? What the? I'll give you, or Drax said, I'll give you one. Why is Gamora? I thought it was so funny. Everybody laughing with it. I think Drax had some of the best like comedic liners coming in. Everything worked with that. All the interaction with Guardians saying, what's happening? And one of the jokes I didn't care for, like who I'm supposed to serve, Jesus, whatever, with Star-Lord. I was like, okay. A lot of people I know laughed about that. For me, I don't care for that, but that's it for y'all. That's just me, and I ain't gonna get deeper to that part. Anyways, they try to figure out who knows each other. Everybody's kind of like in this cabal agent. Don't know who's this or who's that. What is going on? So all that was perfectly fine. I thought all that tied well where they said, y'all know Thor when Iron Man asked, he said, and Star-Lord said, yeah, tall guy, not good looking guy. So it was funny, and it worked well in that film. That worked fine. I thought all these things from an hour of it worked very well throughout the film. And out of that, we get to the Stormbreaker, basically, Thor and them trying to make it work in that machine or whatever and stuff, trying to make the Stormbreaker for Thor. And then after that, we go to the plans where Iron Man and Star-Lord, and then I'm trying to make a plan how to catch the Infinity Gauntlet, how to get off of Thanos. Drax and Mantis are kind of hard for Iron Man. He's kind of like, what I'm working with. Because they all doing stuff. Mantis say, kick names, take ass. Basically, it's supposed to be take names, kick ass. But, Mantis probably got it from Star-Lord, but messed up a little bit. So it was funny. And Iron Man's like, standing in the pose like. Anyways. And all that worked. All that come right. But Doctor Strange looked at the time because his head was like this. And Mantis saw that. He said, there's something ahead in the time thing he looked at. When he said the time thing, I was like, oh. Because Doctor Strange knows what's going to happen next. He said, time stone. The time stone. Something is going on. Doctor Strange knew what was going on, so he knew that at all. He just knows what was going to happen because he sees everything. He's the supreme sorcerer supreme of her dimensions. They never reference that a lot in the film. He's just the master of mystic arts. But anyways, comic books and films are kind of different. They probably bring up in the film later. And we get to Vermeer. And this is where the big stuff comes in. Now, when they went to Vermeer, it's a guy in a cloak talking to Thanos, because Thanos needs the Soul Stone. Soul Stone. So when I saw that, I was like, who's this guy? And then when the guy turns around with a red face, it is Red Skull. When I kind of said Red Skull has to come back in the MCU sooner or later, but I didn't think in this film. So I didn't read no spoilers because I know there was spoilers out there. I said, let me go and film fresh. When I saw that, I was so shocked. I was shocked. And everybody in the movie theater was so shocked. And Red Skull gives exhibition about he harnessed an Infinity Stone. And one of them was a Tesseract. And I noticed it was a Tesseract because in the first Captain America movie, if you haven't seen Captain America, Red Skull had the Tesseract, which was the space stone that Thanos ended up getting in the beginning of the film. He harnessed it, and Red Skull explained all these Infinity Stones and stuff, which makes me bring up the question, where did this time stone? It just was there the whole time, because that they never explained, because all the MCU, that was the only stone we didn't know where that was at, was the Soul Stone. And it finally showed up in this movie. It's supposed to have been probably in Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, but none of those films didn't have it in it. In this film, it showed up, which is fine. I just want to explain where was it at. But Red Skull explains that you have, the only way to get this is you have to trade it for another person's soul. Basically, Thanos has to get this by trading in. So what he does over this clip that Red Skull explains, Gamora says, you don't care for nobody. And she's trying to make Thanos care so much. He has this sadness, but he wants this thing. It's something in his heart. He wants this. This darkness wants it. He gets it by throwing Gamora over the cliff, and Gamora dies. Yes, Gamora dies. So he finally gets the Soul Stone. So now he has 4 stones. Basically, he has 4 stones, and that is what he gets. And he gets it all, and he got 4 stones. Now he has the Time Stone and the Mind Stone has left. And that's when we get to Wakanda. And Wakanda, we get where all some of the Avengers meets the Wakanda people. And Mark Ruffalo has Bruce Banner say, do we bow? And Rhodey says, yeah, we can bow. And it was so funny. Bruce Banner did this, and Black Panther said, we don't do that. It was so funny. I like, because we see Shuri did it in Black Panther, and he don't like that. So their main goal is trying to get the Mind Stone out of Vision. And Shuri talks to Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner gives this little science knowledge, and she is smarter. Bruce Banner don't know that. So I kind of like that, seeing 2 smart people that do technology science stuff. So that worked in this film. That really worked. Russo brothers did well with that. And that's when Thanos, aliens coming everything. And this is where the third climax really gets really, really good. And let me see my notes a little bit. And when after all that, the aliens are coming, that's when we go back to the Stormbreaker. And the machine that the Dorothy and Thor try to do, it does not work. So Thor would have to make sacrifice, and he goes through this machine. He has to put his whole life on. He has to put his whole life to making this machine works. And he could die in this, but Thor basically knows he lost everything, so he must do this to get the Stormbreaker to summon the Bifrost. So he goes through his Peter Dinklage. Before that, Peter Dinklage gives a joke, basically where Thor said, if I die or something, Peter didn't give it out. Oh my God. It was so good. And Thor, I just felt the energy, the emotion when Thor pulls that and all that. And he finally gets it, but Thor is almost near death. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because Thor. But we pretty much know Thor's going to survive because you've seen a little bit of trailers with Thor. But when you see that, you're like, but Groot creates this thing. And my mom figured this out too. She said she knew Groot was going to do it. But to me, that scene was shocking when he has to get the handle, because the Stormbreaker's already made. He just need a handle. And Groot made a handle for him. And that was so neat. I was like, oh my goodness. Writers, clap hands. Never thought of that, and then it gets to, which I say, the battles of Wakanda. And I still don't think it's better than the Civil War. I think the Wakanda is good. I don't think so. One of the scenes I wanted to see was one of the Wakanda people like M'Baku that say, I want to see a scene of him beating an alien to death. I wanted to see that. Because we saw in the Black Panther what he can do. Give me a scene with Baku. I wanted to see it. It wasn't a letdown, I just wanted to see it. Pretty sure it's on the deleted scenes of Avengers Funeral when the DVD come out. I just wanted to see that. And the battle scenes were so fun. One favorite scene with Captain America and Black Panther start sprinting. I was wanting to know who's going to win in this race. Kind of like Superman and Flash when they race each other. I'm pretty sure Black Panther win. My money's on Black Panther, but that was just fun to see that. I like when the Russo brothers added little things in there. The Russo brothers added the good comedic elements, added elements of scenes that you're just like, wow. They just did everything perfectly. And as the battle was going on, the Thor arriving, how good is that? How freaking awesome is that? I was just so happy to see that. When Thor came up, I saw that rainbow. I'm like, oh my God, Thor's coming. And that Avenger music, bum, 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 bum. It was so, and he had Rocket and Groot on his back coming down. They all came. It was just so much. Thor had the windbreaker. I forgot to mention he had a new eye because Rocket had the eye from Guardian Galaxy or something when he did it. Thor put an eye in. So Thor got an eye. He got a Stormbreaker. And I like when Thor comes in just an appearance. And he's like, give me Thanos and that music. And then it fades into Thanos coming to the Titan area where Star-Lord and them crashed in. And an action scene where they're fighting Thanos, Doctor Strange, Mantis, Drax, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Star-Lord. Wow. What an action. I love that in Wakanda. I love that scene a lot because Spider-Man, Doctor Strange doing this, Star-Lord. It's basically like I think Anthony Russo controlled that scene. Somewhere around, I think he did. I know he did. I think he did. Because somewhere he constructed that scene. Probably it was Joe or Anthony Russo, one of them. Anyway, they're talented. They gave us a good scene. That was a good scene. And they finally get Thanos, and they finally almost take the gauntlet off. But Star-Lord messed it up. Why did he mess it up? Why? He got mad because he wanted to know where Gamora's at. And he smacks Thanos, and Mantis could not hold on longer because he messed up the thing. And Spider-Man almost got it, but Thanos got out of what Mantis put him in that spell or whatever, puts him out, and things get crazy. All the battles things, I go in detail of that where Okoye and Black Widow fighting this female alien. But before we get that scene, Scarlet Witch comes in. Okoye say, why was she not down here? Why was she up there the whole time? It was so funny. Everything funny. And Bruce Banner as the Hulk in that Hulk Buster, he was like, once said the Hulk come out and Hulk said, no, when he tried to transfer so bad. It was so funny. All that worked. Everything on that scene. But one of the scenes I felt where I was in edge of my seat. This whole battle, all that was the edge of my seat. Where Thanos fights Iron Man finally. When Iron Man tried to fight him and stuff. And soon Iron Man did the little blade thing. Thanos ripped it off his suit and stabs him. Everybody was like in grips in the movie theater when I watched it. And that just made me like, is Iron Man's going to die? And Thanos said, I hope they remember you. And Doctor Strange had to give up the time stone. He gives up the time stone, and Thanos finally has all 5 of them, and he has to get one last one. And when he gets that last one, he disappears, goes to Wakanda, and Iron Man says, "Why did you do that? What made you do it?" As Doctor Strange said, we're in the A game now. And I was like, my goodness. So Thanos has all that. He's going to Wakanda, all this battling going on. Okoye, Black Widow, them fighting and all that. All that was great. Everything. And one of the funny elements I like what the Russo brothers and the screenwriters did was put Rocket and Bucky. Bucky picked up Rocket and said, "Hey, how much for the gun?" He said, "No, sell." "Yeah, how much for an arm?" And Bucky just walked away. You know, and Groot just doing this, and Captain America and Thor come back, seeing each other. He said, "Hey, you grow the beard. Hey, see your new haircut." They all find those elements, and then Groot said, "I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers." It was so funny. All the elements, they really knew how to put these characters together and see how they work. Because you never could imagine. This is like reading comic books. This is so fun. And it gets fun until Thanos comes in and beats each Avenger. It's like Captain America comes up as a soldier, comes up to face Thanos face to face, but everybody's getting punched. Thanos is throwing hands. This is what we know Thanos is the threat. He's throwing hands at everybody. He's doing this. He's beating up to the punch. That's what I like about what the MCU did with this. That's what I like about what Kevin Feige and them did with Thanos. He's not like this villain that's like, "Oh, I'm big and bad," just walking around. He's really throwing punches. And I actually was on the edge of my seat. Didn't know somebody's going to die. I had my heart racing. My heart was getting pounded. I didn't know what was going on. And Captain America holds Thanos right there. And Thanos punches Cap. And I was like... And later, Scarlet Witch destroys the souls, the Mind Stone, and everything like that. But Thanos redoes it with the Time Stone. Re-gets the Mind Stone back and rips it out of Vision's head. And finally puts it on. And the Infinity Gauntlet is complete. And you have to stop the Infinity Gauntlet. Thor comes in, everybody's down, Thanos complete, but Thor comes in and puts that thing in his chest. But Thanos is more like in hurting pain. But guess what? I think Thanos said for the head. Some people said the hand, but Thanos basically states whatever he said. He ends up snapping his fingers, and Thor didn't know what was going on when he said that. As soon as Thanos snapped his fingers, Thor says no. And that's when things doesn't go good. Because after Thanos did it, people end up disappearing. And one of them is Bucky, Falcon, Scarlet Witch. One that really, really had me, and it did happen, was Black Panther disappearing. I was like, because I just love Black Panther, the film, so much, and he disappeared. I just didn't know what was going to happen. Something about everybody disappeared, and Spider-Man, man, the scene where he says, "I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good. I don't want to go." I just felt that. It just really, everything on that film just hits you. This is one of the MCU films. It's so good. One reason it made it so good because it hits you. Usually super films don't hit you. The recent ones don't put you at stakes and make you feel emotion. It doesn't hit you. And this film hits you right there like you're in it. And I saw Spider-Man disappear. I saw everybody when Spider-Man disappeared, Tony Stark grabbed his hand and cried like this. And the things that Nebula say, he did it. Thanos did it. But back to that scene when Thanos snapped, Thor said, "What did you do? What did you do?" Thanos just disappeared, went on, and Thanos looked at a young Gamora, wherever, like another reality he was in, and then he's in a reality. We see Captain America, Rocket, and Scarlet, Black Widow, Falcon, Black Widow, about to get tongue-tied. We see Captain America, Black Widow, War Machine, and the Hulk, and Thor, and Rocket standing there, which made me think how Rocket survived and Groot didn't. The rest of the galaxies is gone, but Rocket's still alive. guess he's an important piece of the next movie. I think so. But all that just made you like, and everybody moved there like, oh, everybody was loud because they couldn't believe what was going on. This film just did that, and I couldn't believe it. It was just like Thanos really hit these heroes. And it's the first time we've seen that in the MCU film. We just saw that happen, and I couldn't believe it, but it did. And we got to see what happened in the next movie, but we see in the ending where Thanos is just sitting there just like this. And the sunset. Looked like his Titan is saved because he explained that to Doctor Strange in the beginning of in the middle of the battle. And Doctor Strange was just sitting there, and Thanos was like, I can do it with snap my fingers. He finally did it. And it cuts off when Thanos just sitting there in the sunset. Just cut off. And some people in the movie theater like, oh, come on. I like this. I thought it gives us more. It shows us that our heroes got beat. It makes us root for our heroes more. If it just ended where our heroes win, I'll be like, oh, it's just the same thing. Our heroes win in the end. We know they're going to win, but this movie needs to show us our heroes got hit. They got punched in the chest. They got beat in the nose. This is what we needed, and it ended off. But in the ending post-credit scene, we get Samuel Jackson and Maria Hill going through New York, and everything is disappearing. They see a car moving. They almost hit a car. Maria Hill disappears. Samuel Jackson sees something not going right. He sees a regular New Yorker gets disappearing, and he turns on a little device, and soon it disappears. Say, mother. But you know, Samuel Jackson always say MF, always in all his films. He always say that, and that really got me. It really did get me when I saw that. It was funny. And some people who didn't notice the Easter egg in this film, when he disappeared and the thing device landed, it shows a blue and red suit thing, kind of like a symbol or something, with a star symbol. And some people's like, oh, and I was like, And it was Captain Marvel. Yeah, I noticed that's Captain Marvel. That's a hint because she's getting a solo film sooner next year. So I can't wait for that film. And that ended perfectly. This film was great. I enjoyed it. I said on my other review, I enjoyed talking about it. There was everything great about this film. And I think the Russo brothers did the right things. They knocked everything out. Some of the issues I had, but overall, this film was just freaking phenomenal. And I enjoyed talking to y'all about this movie in this spoiler review. I enjoyed it. Glad y'all enjoyed it. The ones who watching it that seen the movie and watched my review. I enjoyed it. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section. Please let me know what you thought about the film. Tell me the stuff that I like. Tell me the stuff that you like that I like. Tell me the stuff that you didn't like, that the scenes I did mention. And that's all the things I did. I don't know. This film just hit you. It was so fun. It hit you in an emotional way. And that's all. I mean, if you like this video, click thumbs up. Or if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. That's why I can see you next time on Sly the Movie Guy. Peace.